Welcome to Needles and Sprouts. We do our shoulder dance. This is episode. This is episode 5. 6. Is 5. 5. With Vlogmas, I've like totally lost count of counting anything. I hope you guys have been watching Whitney's and Vlogmas, especially the one where she goes to the garden center. Yes, my tour of Sun River Gardens. Yeah. That was my favorite one. We need to speak up a little also. Hi! I should have called you, but it was very like... Last minute? Yeah, last minute, and I just didn't even think about it. That's okay. It looked overwhelming, like I'd want to buy all the things. So I went to get paper whites. That was the reason I went. I did. It's usually expensive though, so... Yeah, Sun River. Not the paper whites, but all like the pretty Christmassy things. Look, I look so much taller than you because my chair is taller. You look exactly the same. Well, do I? Okay. No. Right, should we dive in? Yes, let's dive in. Do you want to start with your projects or do you want to hear my sad story? How about I'll talk about my 2 finished objects. And then I tell my sad story? Yeah. It's not that sad. So my first finished object is the hat that I was working last time with the really bouncy yarn. The white hat. I don't remember that. It's you better show me. Well, I don't have it with me because it was a present. Oh, it was like... It was really squishy. Squishy. It was white. It was Cúram by Ysolda Teague. I don't have a picture to show you. I finished it. I just want to say one thing about the yarn. I was in love with the yarn because it was so squishy, but once I blocked it, I feel like it went kind of flat. Oh. Which made me really sad. Yeah, so it's kind of flat. I don't know. I don't know. So I guess if I use that yarn again, don't block it. I don't know. When you block it, do you make it wet? Yes, so you get it wet, and then I have a styrofoam head that I put the hat on to kind of get its shape. The head is smaller, a little bit smaller than a real head, but it helps the hat keep its shape without getting like creases on it if you were to lay it flat to dry. Right. I have a question. It's not really about blocking, but I'm sure this has happened to you, where you have a hat that you really like that you have created and you wear it or your kids pull on it and then it gets stretched out. Is there a way to make it kind of shrink back in? Yeah, cinch back down. Or once it's loose, is it always going to be loose? I don't know. I guess if it were wool, you could throw it in the dryer for a few seconds, or, you know, a minute at a time and pull it out and check it. I had a horrible... my mom shrunk 2 of my very favorite wool sweaters, so I'm very hesitant. When I was younger, I had this really cute one that was like, it's just machine knit, but it shrunk to like doll size. It was like a turtleneck. It was orange and gray. It was mostly gray with like some orange. Orange. I know. Anyway, well. So there's nothing you can do once it stretches out? I don't think so. Because my kids also like to pull on my scarves. Anyway, I just wondered if someone knew a trick. Yeah. Okay, my other finished object. This was a very... that was beautiful. I don't know what it is. Spur of the moment cast on. This is my Color Theory cowl. Designed by Xandy Peters. So let me show the camera. And it goes around and around, all these pretty colors. So this was... It was before I'd started my current works in progress, and I just was like, I needed a palette cleanser type. I didn't know what I wanted to knit, but I needed to knit something. So I went into my stash in my basement, and I pulled out this green yarn, which I'd bought years ago, and didn't actually like. I don't know why I bought it. I have 3 different colorways of this kind of yarn. It's a wool silk mohair blend. It's Cascade Casablanca. It's a worsted weight. But I was like, oh, I'll just skein this up and maybe I'll knit a hat. But so I skeined it up, and I saw once while it was winding that it was a gradient. I didn't realize that in the skein. It just looked like it was a variegated, like multicolor skein of yarn. What was I saying? Gradient. Oh yeah, it was a gradient. And so when I saw that, I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. I could do something really cool with that. It is really cool. And so I hopped online and was searching for patterns that used gradient yarn. and I found this pattern by Xandy Peters, and I was like, okay, well I just need to find a contrasting color. So I went and I found the gray.
This color?
Yeah.
Is that the gray?
The gray, yeah.
I would describe it as a beigey gray, so
It's, yeah.
kind of could go with brown or...
And as I was knitting it, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I started the gradient in the dark green spot, and as I was moving, as it got paler and paler, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work with the gray contrasting yarn.
I actually really like
But
that.
yeah, when I finished it, I was like, I really dig this, the way the colors, I mean, the really low contrast, and then into the really stark contrast. And I can't tell you how pleased I am with this. I knit it up in like 2 or 3 days. I used 2 skeins of really deep stash yarn that I kind of, the green one I kind of had given up ever like using it practically. And so I think that plays into why I'm so happy with it, is because I love the colors, I love the way it knit up, and I've been wearing it all the time. I've been wearing it a lot. I double it over generally and just wear it.
So how is that different than a scarf?
Because it's just
a circle?
It's a circle.
Okay.
And if you wanted to wear it more decoratively, I don't know, you could pin it, or you don't have to do the double. You could just do it kind of like this. If you had like a fancier coat or something. I don't know.
If you wanted like the long scarf look.
Yeah. So I'm ridiculously pleased with this. I really like it.
It's really cool.
It's really cool.
So you talked about shawls, you've talked about cowls, you've talked about scarves, and in one of your videos, your shawl that you're wearing to me looked like a scarf. Is the difference between a shawl and a scarf just the shape? Like,
yeah,
I mean, is it like triangular? Is that
the shawl that I was, so in my Vlogmas videos, I was wearing my Blooming Brioche shawl by this is by Xandy, by Brandy of Long Dog Yarn. So that's a asymmetrical shawl. So it's a triangle where it's a lot longer on this side and then short. So it's an asymmetrical.
Okay, but it is a triangle.
But it's deep. Like it's like.
It's like a blanket as well?
It's like this deep, so the B part is really deep. And so I just like to wear it kind of kerchief style, where you wrap it around.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
Okay.
Because mostly you think of a scarf as just like a...
rectangle?
Yeah, it's basically a long, skinny rectangle that's only about this wide, but shawls come in, you know, crescent shapes. There are pie shawls that are round. And shawls can be fun to knit, because you can knit them in a whole bunch of different weights of yarn. They're fingering weight and worsted weight, and I don't know.
What weight is this?
This is worsted weight.
Oh, okay.
But
that's the weight I'm used to.
The Cascade Casablanca is a little bit thick and thin, the yarn, just a little bit, so the gauge is a little bit more open. I'm ridiculously pleased with this. I've been so...
It's super cool.
You
can make me one for Christmas.
Oh, well see, and that's the thing, is I have 2 more skeins, not of the green, but I have a red one. It's like reds and yellows, and then I have it's like a pale, another one that's a purple and yellow. It's like a pale purple and yellow. But now that I know it's
I don't know about it. It's purple and yellow in the same skein?
Yeah, it's like pastel-y purples and pale green and yellow, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. But now that I know it's a gradient, I'm kind of thinking of doing them together, like doing the red and...
I'd be interested to see how that worked out.
So yeah, I'm really digging this hat.
See, I spend a lot of time thinking about crafts and not making too many of them. And part of my problem is I'm really obsessive and I'm a perfectionist.
Oh,
so like
matching
colors is like the worst for me. And well, specifically I was sewing, and I can't talk about that until after Christmas because of the children who are present. But yeah, I spent so much time just like wanting to make this present perfect, because I also was making it for some nieces and nephews, and since I don't know them as well, I was like, is he gonna think this is too babyish, or will the girls not like it because it's not pink? But then you're like, but I'm making it for boys and girls, so then you're like, how do you make that go.
Tori made
I can't get those down.
these cute little stockings. They're
Anyway,
repurposed.
yeah, so they are wool knit, but I didn't make them. I just went to the thrift store and found a sweater that had super cool cables, and each of the stockings have a different cable. You can't see, and I don't really want to take them down, but they each have a different style of cable because I took it from different parts of the sweater, so they're pretty cool. If you want to do this, here's some things I learned, because I have 2 different sweaters up there from 2 different times I made them. When I did the stocking that had the back of the sweater as the backing, it's too flimsy. So the ones that I feel like are really successful are the ones I just got a matching felt to put on the back. Oh. And then a thought I had this year for, if I ever make more stockings, is I think I'll just put some interfacing just to make it a little bit thicker too. That was an idea.
I think they're so cute.
But yeah, so you just put the felt on the back, cut it out, and the other hard part was getting the shape. So the ones that don't have felt on the back have a harder time holding the shape. Oh. And there's weird lumps in them.
Huh.
So, anyway. Okay.
Tell us your not so sock knitting tale.
Okay, so Whitney gave me this sock yarn, and I was really excited because I was going to attempt to make some socks for Christmas. But she just told me, you need to get some circular needles. So one day when my daughter was at a music class and I have limited time and it's really close to Hobby Lobby, I went to Hobby Lobby to buy some needles. Whitney didn't tell me, however, that I had to pay attention to the length of the cord.
Oh, I thought I told you either.
She might have told me, but I was typing gibberish in my head.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then when I went to cast on, based on the recipe that she sent me, I was like, wait, I can't go in a circle.
Oh, no.
Because the only size 2 knitting needles that Hobby Lobby had are 16 inches. I don't even know what you do with those.
That's like hat knitting.
Hat knitting with number 2 needles. I was like, oh, okay, they go. Anyway, I do not recommend Hobby Lobby to purchase, which I didn't really think they would. It's fine. I don't really like them. They can get lost. Only reason I went there is just because it was close to where I was and it was just the perfect time slot. Because when I started, why are you showing them?
I just want to show them how short
How
they
long?
are, how long they're not.
Okay, so, but I was like, I'm gonna try to learn how to use them anyway because they're cute and they're little. So I went to my sister's house, who is a knitter. She was gonna teach me how to do knitting in the round, and this was the first time I used them. They broke. So
are you serious?
Definitely don't buy them from Hobby Lobby. Luckily I used the 40% off coupon, so they're only like $3. But I'm still like, so don't buy from them.
Well, shoot, I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. So anyway, my sister, she has a lot more knitting things than I do, so don't worry. I got this bag of goods.
Oh, wow.
All sorts of cool things, because she's not really into knitting as much right now. She's into quilting, and she makes fabulous quilts. So cool. She's like the person I want to be when I grow up. She was trying to show me how to use the double-pointed needles. And we have some. But then I was like so struggling. Like I was knitting along.
It's a hard way to learn.
Because even the recipe that she sent me, so you had to do the toe with double-pointed needles. And all of a sudden, one dropped out, and I had 2. And my sister was like, "Well, maybe you should start with a hat." And I was like,
learning to knit in the round on DPNs is that's like jumping in the deep end,
right?
Kind of.
And that's why I wanted your recipe, because everything I saw was socks around double-pointed needles, socks around double-pointed needles, and I was like, that sounds intimidating to me. But if I could learn on circular needles, I feel like that would be less intimidating. But I think I'm gonna go with my sister's recommendation and do a hat.
I think when we were texting and I was saying the 9-inch circular, that's why I kept saying 9-inch circular, so as opposed to a 16-inch.
I just don't pay attention, I guess. So then I tried to use this yarn because someone gave it to me, and it's soft, fluffy, and soft.
Hold it up. They like to see.
Like that?
Like right in front of the camera.
You can see it.
But it doesn't.
There we go. But it's super nubby. I'm going to ask Whitney her opinion about this kind of yarn in a minute, but I wanted it because it was soft. I was going to make a hat for a friend who had cancer, but she passed away yesterday, so I'm not going to make that hat anymore.
Oh, really?
But this was also really tricky because it kept catching. What do you think about this yarn?
Do you remember the blankets I was talking about? I don't know if you watched that.
I haven't watched
Vlogmas.
I haven't watched them.
So this is the yarn I made my very first knitted blankets out of, and I held 3 strands of this together.
Oh, maybe I wasn't watching. I was listening to that.
It's fun yarn. It's because it's so fluffy, it can split very easily.
Well,
which can be tricky.
My problem is it was catching. Like, it just wasn't. It would just catch and not pull. Did you ever have that experience? So then I gave up because I was going to do the hat.
Oh no!
So, but I have lots of other yarn that people just give me. But I just really like the softness of this for a hat.
Yeah, that would be really.
If you didn't have hair, I think I would like that. I mean, I have hair. I probably would like it too. But anyway, I kind of put them all on hold because I was doing a lot of sewing projects. So we'll talk about the sewing projects for Christmas. Yeah, because they're pretty exciting too.
Yes.
Also, this was fun. So I got Joann's with all their cells. I got a little like obsessive. And I found this really cute Christmas cloth. Maybe we'll put a picture of it in. And I bought like 2 yards of it because it's like mountains and it's like a map and I really love maps. And I was like, oh, I can make sheets with this for my son's bed.
That would be cute.
It doesn't look that Christmassy. And then I kind of got it home and I was like, it's not that Christmassy, but it also doesn't really match his room. So we made this cool thing that maybe we can show you guys.
Oh, is that
at
the
end.
tree?
Yeah, I have like, we have a model
under
train underneath my tree. Like it's from the
Christmas tree.
It's like it's pretty old. It's probably from it's my mother-in-law's, so maybe from the 50s. It's a really cool train, but my kids move it. So my husband made a board that he wired the tracks to, and we put this really cute map train road. I'm still obsessed with it, but
Cute.
I need some ideas of what to do with the rest. But I felt good because my compulsive purchase went to a good cause, I just spent more money. It was good. It was good because Christmas cloth was on sale.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm still really obsessed with it.
So, the tale of the husbeast sweater, as Kristen from Bull and Vine calls it. I wanted to knit a sweater for Ivan, my husband, for Christmas. And I had a pattern picked out and I started knitting it, but I, for whatever reason, could not get the size right. I started the stupid pattern multiple times and ripped it out, and so I picked a different pattern. So the pattern I'm knitting is a free one by Drops. It's called Twilight.
Is this the third?
So this is
this the third iteration of said sweater?
I don't know how many times. I quit that other sweater and restarted.
Well, you had one,
over,
and then you had 2, the 80s pattern.
Well, that was the first one. The 90s pattern was the one that didn't work out.
Well, then you got another one.
And that's this one.
Oh, okay.
So I had knit, here Quiddies, I gotta show the camera real quick. I've knit most of the body and I am on the back. I'm doing the neck shaping for the back right now. I finished one side, so I have to do the other. I finished this side and I'm on the neck shaping for the back. The goal was to get this done in Christmas, which is in 1 week from right now. I think it would be possible if I didn't have a million other things to do as well. And Vlogmas isn't helping because I spend a substantial amount of time editing and uploading Vlogmas every day.
Yeah.
So it's been quite the challenge, but I think it'll be fun. I'm knitting it out of, this is Nature Spun worsted. The color is, I don't know what the color is, blueberry. This is the same yarn that I knit my green cabled yoke sweater out of. It's the same, it's a different color, but this is the same yarn.
The one that you bought like a boatload at Harmony?
Yes, yes. So. But the one that the project I'm really excited about is my Bobble Bodice Tunic. This is designed by Gayle Bunn for Yarn Inspirations. And I finished the body, I just have to do the sleeves. Isn't it awesome? Well, I know
I like the side cables.
it's probably not everybody's thing, but I tried it on and it is so, it's heavy. Feel how heavy this thing is.
It looks solid.
It is.
Like someone could shoot you and
It
it would
is
bounce off.
warm. Like, let me tell you what, it is cozy. And I wanted this done by Christmas so badly, but I've tried knitting the sleeves on DPNs, but I get ladders. Those are like the gaps between the needles. And
I learned about those.
yeah, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I ordered some needles on Amazon, some 9-inch circular needles in size, I think I'm knitting this on US size 6 and size 5 for the ribbing. So I ordered some of those and hopefully those should be here tomorrow or the next day. So then I can get cracking on the sleeves. It doesn't look nearly as good on me as it does in the picture on the model. This is a pretty new pattern, so there's 0 projects in Ravelry because normally you look through, I do anyway, and I read as many project notes, I look at as many other people's projects as possible to get ideas of how the actual fit is and how the pattern, if it's a clear pattern or whatever, but there's 0 projects on this. So
you'll be the first?
I'm the first one. I'm the first project, but yeah, we'll see. Ivan doesn't like the turtleneck, but it's kind of a wide, so it's not like on your neck. And I think I'll block it open pretty aggressively. That way it'll lay just a little bit open as opposed to just being constricting on the neck. Anyway, I really want it for Christmas.
I love turtlenecks, so. Well, I used to love them more. I like the feeling they give me. They're not as trendy, so I guess, yeah.
We're gonna make it come back with
Whitney's
this
gonna
one
make it come
sweater.
back.
So I'm really excited for that. So those are my 2 works in progress, but I wanted to show some yarn that I forgot to show on my yarn haul from.
Is it from the?
From California, from Stitches SoCal. This is like the best yarn of all of it, and I forgot to show it.
So you're really building this up, Whitney.
Feel that.
Squishy. Soft. It looks curly.
This is Woolfolk.
Oh, this looks like this kind of yarn.
It's Woolfolk Flet. I guess that's how you say it. It's a boucle yarn. I guess that's kind of.
Is that what this is? Is this boucle?
It's
like
very,
where you take the fibers and wrap it in something skinnier and it makes that.
Yeah.
Except this one looks finer.
Yeah, this is. Let's see. Where is it?
What language is this in? Fleet.
I don't know. I think it's. So it's 100%. 21 Ultimate Merino Wool. I think that means 21 micron Merino Wool, which is, maybe that's not what that means. I don't know what that means. Anyway, whatever. It is so soft. Normally this is not yarn that I would be drawn to. They had a sample knit up in the booth of this yarn, and it was a shawl, but it was so beautiful. Just so soft, and I was like, I need a sweater out of this, so I bought a sweater's quantity of this, and it is not cheap. This was like my big splurge, and I've started knitting up a swatch. Anyway,
can I see that?
Yeah.
I like your swatches.
The problem I'm coming across is when you swatch, because of the nature of the design of the yarn, it's really, really hard to count, to see your stitches.
Yeah.
Like, it's really hard to count, so I don't even know how to measure my swatch. Can I show the camera?
Yeah.
Yeah, see how you can't tell where your stitches are unless you pull it apart so you can see the rows. You can't. This is the knit side actually. See, when you pull it apart you can kind of see the knit rows, but so that's the thing I need to figure out how to make that work. So I forgot to show that. And I wanted to show 2 more yarn purchases. Well, this is for Ivan, but he's the one who wanted this. He's
when my husband wants something, I'm like, you can't tell me that because I'm going to buy it.
Well, because of my newfound love for wool and like researching about fibers and natural fibers, Ivan has kind of become a little bit of a wool snob as well. Like he's like, I have a merino jacket that it's like a biking jacket he loves. He's like, everyone he sees, he's like, this is merino wool. And he's like so excited about it. So one thing, when he found out that yak yarn existed,
oh my gosh, is this like, yak?
This is 100% yak yarn.
Does buffalo yarn exist?
I'm sure it does.
My husband would be so into this if it was yak yarn.
This is 100% pure yak down. This is by Bijou Basin Ranch. And this is a sport weight.
You guys, this is product of Tibet. PRC. That's stinking awesome.
I know they have a ranch where they have their own yaks, so I was really surprised to see it's a product of Tibet because I thought they got it from their own yak, but whatever. I don't know how that works. But they were having a Black Friday sale, and I was like, this is not cheap yarn either. Actually, it was reasonable. Like it's not cheap, but it wasn't as expensive as some other yak fibers I've seen out there. But they were having like a 20% off sale for Black Friday, which they don't do like ever. And so I was like, okay, Ivan, this is your chance. So he's like, I'm not gonna say no. So I went ahead and bought a sweater's quantity that I'm gonna make Ivan.
This is like
sweater.
What weight is this?
This is a sport weight.
Sport weight, because it seems like it will.
It's pretty fun.
I wouldn't look at it and think, oh, this is sweater, but I guess it will be like a light sweater.
Yeah.
If your husband's like mine, he's really hot anyway. So.
Yeah. Ivan's not much of a sweater wearer. Ivan's not much of a sweater wearer because he's never had a store-bought sweater that fits him well. Because he has such a he has broad shoulders and really large arms because he's very muscular, but he also has
a really small
a narrow taper. It's almost like a swimmer's body where it's very broad and then narrow, but he also has anyway, so he's literally ripped shirts by flexing his muscles, like literally, because his arms are so big. So he never has
pictures or it didn't happen.
He never has anything that fits him in the arms, and so he doesn't really like wearing sweaters anyway. He has a hard time finding t-shirts.
I think you need to vlog about that.
So
can you get that on the vlog? It didn't seem like Ivan really liked being in any of your videos.
Well,
he didn't seem.
He's not in them very much, is he?
No, but like when he was, he didn't seem very excited to be there.
That's just kind of the way he is, like in front of the camera or like in front of other people. He gets really like weird like that. I don't know. That's just kind of how he is.
I feel like when I've seen him, he seems very social. He wasn't like that in the videos.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ivan's great.
He's great. I love him. One more quick yarn purchase because I'm so excited about it.
What is that? What is that?
This is silk mohair from Haute Knit Yarn. I think that's how you say that. Haute.
I don't know what that is.
Like haute couture. Haute couture, however you say it. So I have 4 skeins of this. It's 72% mohair, 28% silk, and the colorway is
Leprechaun.
Emerald Sparkle. It doesn't have any sparkle. There we go. It's looking a lot darker on screen. It's very, very much like a leprechaun green.
Yeah,
like St. Patrick's Day green.
Oh, that's perfect. Kelly green. It's very Kelly green.
Yeah.
It's like perfect green is what I'd call it.
So I've been watching a new podcast. It's Caroline of Dunder Knit. You guys have probably seen her. Her podcast is called Knitting Vicariously. And she's been knitting a sweater. And this is what gave me the idea. She has a black yarn and she's holding it double with this base, like the mohair silk. But the mohair silk is like this, it's almost like it's this multicolored yarn. So when she holds it together, she calls it the oil slick effect. It kind of looks like all the rainbowy colors of an oil slick. And I was like, oh, I want an oil slick sweater. But maybe not necessarily with that color. So I bought, Craftsy was having a flash sale of yarn. And so I bought a sweater's quantity of black yarn. That's in the mail. And I
Is
also
it also mohair?
no, it's just regular wool. So that's coming, but I also bought a different sweater's quantity of mohair that's in the mail that I want to hold together with the black to get my oil slick sweater.
So wait, you're doing
But
the
this
black
one-
with
But
the
this
other,
one,
but not this one?
I'm not sure. This one I want to do the same thing, but I can't decide if it would look better. Maybe I can get your opinion with black or white, or like a cream, like a natural cream. Because I tend to go green and white is like my favorite combination, but the green and black I'm kind of I need to swatch basically to see what it would look
Yeah.
like.
My school colors in high school were green and black, so part of me is like, yes! But then part of me is like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But
So that's what I want to do. I brought a sweater's quantity so I can hold it double with a solid color base. And I have a pattern picked out. I forget what it's called, but it's by Petite Knit. A really popular pattern going around is the No Frills sweater by Petite Knit. It's pretty much the same thing as the No Frills sweater. It's the same designer, but it's just shaped a tiny bit differently. So it's not the No Frills sweater, but it's a very similar design by the same designer.
I'm excited to see what that turns into. That's amazing.
I forgot to say what my Bobble yarn is made out of. My Bobble. This is Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. That my Bobble Bodice Tunic is made out of, and the color is Seraphim. So I got this on super sales, only like $1.79 a skein. So, yeah.
Can we go back to talking about yak yarn for just a sec?
Yeah, yak.
Did it come in lots of pretty colors or just
They
colors?
had about 4 or 5. There was a red, yellow, black, gray, brown, and I think they might have had a green. I can't remember, but if they had a green, it was a more yellow green. Sorry, I keep getting close to me. And I don't like the more yellower shades of green. I prefer more hunter green or like a true green, grass green,
Yeah.
or emerald green, I guess.
Yeah, yellow green is kind of gross.
So yeah, this was on sale. It was only like, it was like $26 a skein, if I remember. That was
All
on
right,
sale.
friends. For next time, I'm
Which-
gonna go research buffalo
Which is not bad.
fiber.
Which is not bad for yak. And yak is like the new cashmere, basically. It's super soft. The insulating properties are crazy. Like, it's just an incredible fiber. So Ivan is really, really excited about the yak.
That's awesome. I'm excited. That sounds cool.
So I have a lot of things coming up in 2019.
Woo!
If I can get past Christmas and the 2 Christmas sweaters, and then another.
I'm gonna knit socks. And
You will knit socks. So
But I'm gonna knit a hat first. But I need some yarn. I mean, I have yarn. So you got me the yarn you gave me last time.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of bigger. Is there something I should look to knit with that?
What do you mean? Oh,
Because the weight is like it's bigger than worsted.
Yeah, it's probably like closer
Is
to
that
an Aran
something
weight.
I wouldn't do socks with
You
it.
could do.
Would it be good for a hat?
Yeah, it'd be great for a hat.
It would be a hat for someone besides myself.
It'd be
I really
great.
like bright colors.
It'd be great for something like this.
But there's not enough of that.
Oh yeah,
You think there's enough?
this was 2 skeins.
Oh really?
Yeah. It would be
Okay.
great for something like this,
That would be
or a shawl. You could look up. That's the great thing about Ravelry is there's so many ways you can search. You can put in the.
I have looked at Ravelry. There's this really cool sunburst rug I want to make.
Oh.
It's yellow and then it has like the rays, but the rays aren't all equal. They all are kind of different. I really like it, but
That's cute.
I kind of wouldn't want it as a rug because I would have a hard time walking on it.
Do like
because
a
it was
wall hanging.
So beautiful. Because I just made Soren. Me and Lucy, Soren's gone right now. We just made Soren some space things. And there's a sun, so.
Ooh,
I
cool.
wonder if I can. Good idea! Woo! I love good ideas.
But on Ravelry, you can search the weight of your yarn. So you can put Aran weight, and then you can put your yardage in, and then it'll come up with all the patterns that take that amount of yarn for that yarn weight, and free or paid for. There's a million different ways you can.
It's a little overwhelming.
You can search,
I
which is
also-
really nice.
I want to make something amigurumi. However we say that word.
Amigurumi.
Yeah,
Amigurumi.
they're always so cute, but every time I look at them, I'm like, this probably takes more skills. If I can't make socks, I probably can't make this.
Yeah, that's one thing I wish I...
Though I might try with crochet. I have more crochet skills.
I try crochet and I just can't... I'm not very good at it, first of all. But I haven't practiced very much.
I'm not very good at knitting.
I can't...
So,
anyway.
I gotta pick a hobby.
I wish I could do amigurumi, which is what I was trying to say, but I don't care enough to practice to learn to do it. I'll just do knit toys instead.
No, and then part of me is like,
though knitting small
I'm gonna knit something. It needs to be like well worth the effort, not just to replace stuffed animals that my kids already have. A Jill.
I would say crocheting toys is probably faster and easier than knitting toys.
But I never get around to it.
But I don't know.
That's beautiful.
I've never really done that, so.
That's
All right, cool. Well, this is our Christmas episode, so everyone have a Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you later.
See you later.
Merry Christmas, happy. I don't know.
Oh yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Enjoy Vlogmas.
Yeah, Vlogmas. Sorry, you're seeing my face a lot. Sorry, not sorry. Okay.
See ya.